Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Karin, and you're listening to the Rom-Com Detectives.
Welcome to Rom-Com Detectives, episode 65. Elvis is back, the next episode in our Mentalist unit. Today, Karin and I will be breaking down the second episode of season 2 called The Scarlet Letter.
This episode originally aired on October 1st, 2009, and now we get to find out how I pronounce the writer's name. I found two different options, so let's see what happens now. It was written by Tom Szent-Györgyi or Szent-Györgyi and directed by Charles Beeson.
I was trying to figure out how I would say it, and I would have gone with the first one, the Szent-Györgyi. So
Györgyi, there you go. Those GY sounds do some interesting things in Hungarian, apparently.
So before we start, I wanted to mention that it's been something that I've wanted to figure out for over a year now. Because the title sequence that's introduced in this season that we first saw in the last episode has 3 shots of Jane. I still don't know what the eye one is, but that one's never really bothered me. But there's there's 2 other shots. One is Jane standing against a brick wall, so that's from Red Badge in the beginning when they find the body in the alley. But the second one is like just Jane smiling, and it looks like he's sitting on a couch. And I've always thought I gotta find out where that is. I finally found it in this episode. So it's because you can tell like from like his shirt collar is a little rumpled. So when I was watching the episode, I was like, that's the shirt. So I was like, okay, I gotta watch because it had to be in one of the early episodes, right? If it's gonna be in the title sequence. And so I knew it had to be either 1, 2, or 3, maybe 4. But it turned out to be this one. It's later when he's talking to Walter Crewe at his house. So yay!
It never occurred to me that these pictures were from episodes.
Oh, well, I mean, I think it only occurred to me on like my second watch because when I would watch, because I really like intros, so every time I would watch intros, like I saw the part with Jane standing against a brick wall. I was like, oh my god, I know that scene. That's from Red Badge, and so after that, I was like, so the other one must be from a scene too, and so I wanted to know where it was. It's just like this itch that I never could scratch until last night. I was like, oh, finally. All right, let's get to the case briefing. What does the DVD booklet have for us?
Okay. According to the DVD booklet, this episode is about politics is a deadly game when a state senator's aide tied to a sex scandal takes a dive off a Sacramento bridge.
Okay, title relevance. We're going to have a conversation about this. we can normally figure out what the title relevance is pretty quickly. Sometimes it's a little more involved, but like when I was doing the anniversary post, I was posting daily a rewatch post about every episode leading up to the 10-year anniversary. But there were some along the way that just stumped me. I couldn't figure out what the relevance is. So I had written down that The Scarlet Letter is a novel by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and it's about a woman who's she's like ostracized in her village because she has a child and she's not married, so she is an adulteress, and they make her wear a scarlet letter for A on her chest to like brand her as like this wicked woman. But I don't know. I mean, there's the adultery theme in this episode, but not really, because I don't know. I mean,
comes in at the end. There's really no like branding that occurs in the book.
And is it too? Because I mean, her marriage is a sham, so
Right.
I mean, I guess you can technically say it's adultery, but at the same time, I don't know that it really counts because the husband had married her for money, so
Right, like he knew what was going on.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there was no expectation that they would be faithful to each other. They had no
Yeah.
relationship. or physical relationship. So, I mean, you get into it, and the father is very sketchy in the adultery arena, but the Scarlet Letter is about the woman specifically.
Hmm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and Hester Prynne, the main character, she does have like a secret lover, but I mean, that's the father of her child. It's not like she's secretly gay and I don't see any ties to it. And there's no letters either. So
No.
I'm so confused. Anyway, the victim and cause of death in this one is Kristen Marley, and it was blunt force trauma. Although they initially thought it was suicide because they found her thrown off a bridge. So
And the CBI is involved because the victim worked in the state capitol. It's set in Sacramento.
the killer was Senator Melinda Batson, and Batson is such a strange name. I had such a hard time remembering it when I was taking notes. I kept almost writing Batman.
Oh, funny. So, as we already mentioned, they were having an affair because technically the senator's married, but the victim cheated on her with her father. So that's when the murder happened.
Guest stars, there were quite a few. Christian Clebenson played Dr. Roy Karmer. He's from Colony, CSI Miami, Boston Legal, and Lois and Clark. Paul Fitzgerald, he played Elliot Batson. He's from The Residence. I think he was the president. And I looked at he's credited for 3 episodes of SVU, and I think he's credited with different characters. So I don't know if he's been on SVU 3 different times, playing 3 different people. But I mostly remember him from Lucifer. He's from the season 3 episode. I think it's called "Till Death Do Us Part." It's the one with. Have you seen season 3 of Lucifer yet?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
watched it.
it's the one where Pierce and Lucifer go undercover as a couple
Oh, yeah, yep.
in the suburbs,
Okay, yeah.
and I think he's the killer, or he's like married to the I don't know. He's in that episode. He's one of the.
He just likes to marry killers.
I guess. There's Teresa Gary. She played, I guess, the Senate leader. She has lots of guest appearances, such as NCIS LA, A League of Their Own, and 911. There's Faye Masterson. She played Melinda. She's from The Last Ship and 50 Shades. Joss Stewart. He played Harlan, and he's from Criminal Minds, The Punisher, and Third Watch. George Weiner is Dr. Steiner, and I did not realize that he's from Spaceballs. He just looks so much younger. I just never put it together, even though I've seen that clip so many times. And then he's also been on Days of Our Lives and a lot of other things. But the big one in this one is Paul Michael Glazier. And I didn't know this when I saw him on the show, on the episode. I was like, this guy has like a presence, so he
Yeah.
must be somebody big. And it turns out he is. He's the guy who played Walter Crew. He's been a right down of it, but he's Starsky from Starsky and Hutch. So yeah, he was a big guest. Although I was telling Karen earlier, I've never seen Starsky and Hutch, so
No, I haven't either.
they're so famous in name, though.
Oh, they really are, yes.
All right, Jane's skills in the episode. What do we have?
Okay, we have hot reading, which I included as, he got information from the team and then pretended with Lisbon that he had absorbed it in his sleep, which is another skill he has apparently. Reading minds with Dr. Steiner, and cold reading, which he always does a cold reading.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so starting with the episode breakdown, Jane approaches the team on a bridge, and he's yawning and saying, "Hey, what's going on?" And Cho's like, Did you sleep through Lisbon's briefing?" And he explains that the victim worked for a state senator. She went missing 3 days ago, and that there have been rumors that she was having an affair with the senator's husband. And so Jane looks over the side, and the body is really far down.
Yep.
And I do want to note that, like, this kind of body for TV purposes is still intact, but I don't think it would be in reality. That was a very far fall.
Yes, there's no water down there.
Well, even water, I think, would be really bad.
Yeah.
So, but Rigsby is he's I don't know, he's kind of callous in this scene,
Yes. Yeah, he is.
right? He's like, I bet she jumped and went splat, and then when Van Pelt's like, "Hey, you don't talk like that," he's like, "Okay, maybe she went. What was it?
Bam.
Bam." And she's just like, well, human life is sacred and there's nothing worse than suicide. And he's just kind of like confused at why she's so offended. But I was like, well, you are being kind of offensive. But Lisbon calls Jane sleepyhead and asks if he needs a recap. And that's when he tells her that he has trained his brain to absorb information while he's asleep. But then they go down. They go down to the ground. They meet Dr. Steiner. But I want to just say that I thought the shot in this was really cool. Like that bridge that they were by looked
Mhm.
really neat in the background. It was really
Yeah.
high. So Dr. Steiner's the coroner. Do you think he's? Because she had just said that SAC PD was turning it over to. Do you think? How does it work? Does the coroner's office work independently with various agencies, or are they police?
The coroner I know works for the county.
Oh, okay, so they're separate.
Mhm.
Okay, but yeah, so they're kind of pushing him. Was it suicide? Was it homicide? And he gets kind of upset, and especially when Jane starts poking her foot with a stick, which also rude. But I think he only does it to piss him off because he can tell that he's all riled up. So really, Jane is actually just poking Steiner. And he's just like, science will eventually reveal the cause of death. And he's telling them to be patient, basically. And did you? I like Rigby's kind of cheeky, right? He mutters to Joe, "Wonder if science will remove the stick from his butt."
It's so good.
Rigby and Joe were so good together in this episode. It was so
Yeah, they
funny.
really were.
They
That
had
was
so
r yeah.
many good, funny scenes, and it's so funny because they're just like almost like throwaway scenes, but they're
Yeah.
they add so nicely to their dynamic. But so because Jane can sense that he's got someone to pick on, this relationship with Steiner only goes for 3 episodes, but somehow they build it up really nicely
They
in
do,
in
yeah.
very few episodes. I've always really liked that about Jane and Steiner. But Steiner's heard of Jane and he starts mocking him about like his psychic powers and everything. And so, of course, when you poke the Jane, you're gonna get poked back.
Oh, yeah, he's really asking for it here. But to be fair, I mean, Steiner gives them absolutely nothing with
Yeah,
this body.
yeah.
He is committing to nothing.
Which I also think is fair because I mean he is a man of science and he's not gonna want to like say
Yeah,
something that
that
like,
is incomplete or yeah.
and how is he supposed to tell just by looking, right? So but yeah, so Jane's got to show off. He's got to. He makes some wild claims that Steiner's fantasizing about whether he would take Lisbon or Van Pelt as his concubine.
Oh my goodness. That's the
which
thing though, is since Jane's always is often right about things, I always wonder.
wonder if he's so unnerved and offended because it was true.
Yes.
Well, I mean, because yeah, it sounds so out there and totally made up, but at the same time, you're right. I mean, he could just have hit the nail on the head, and then that's what got him so flustered, right?
I'll always wonder.
Oh boy. So he asks Van Pelt what she observes about the victim's feet, and that's when she notices that one of her shoes is missing. So that leads them to wonder, oh, like why would she go to the Why would she get out of her car and jump off a bridge with only one shoe? And then Jane's like, well, I'm gonna go back to the van, but before he goes, he calls Steiner a horse's ass. That was one of our other titles we were thinking about. He says, "You're a horse's ass, but you mean well." I do wish that we had had more episodes of the two of them going head to head, because just I don't know, I like the whole Jane fighting with another professional.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So the intro plays here, and it's still the non-standard slow version music that we heard the last time. So we haven't gotten the one that we get used to for most of the rest of the show. So next we go to the state capitol, and Jane and Lisbon they go into the state chamber, and they interview who I think is the Senate leader, and she explains that Kristen was an intern and she worked for the senator. And then Gene starts like doing like his whole like acting like a kid while Lisbon does the police work thing.
Yep. Yep.
He like picks up the gavel and she's like, "Put that down." And then of course he turns on the microphone and uses that. And oh my god, I really like these little parts though. Like they did that. Which episode was it? Was the one where Jane was sitting on a tractor, right?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
Flame
there's
Red? It must have been Flame Red because that was like a farming town, right?
that would make sense, yeah. And
Yeah.
he does it quite often. Just
Yeah, I
these
think there's
little
yeah,
moments.
I think there's another one where he's on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I think that's later though.
Yeah, just coming up.
But the woman admits that she heard the rumors, but that everyone denies it, and that usually the rumors aren't true. So they go to talk to Senator Batson and meet her husband Elliot, who's also her chief of staff. They head into an office with Lisbon, and he hangs back to snoop around at Kristen's desk. The Batsons tell Lisbon that she came from or that she wasn't getting along with her stepmother, and that she had a stepbrother too, and that the stepmother had been calling her a lot the day she died. So Lisbon asks about the affair rumor, and they both deny it. They talk about how they've been married for almost 3 years, and right then Jane comes in. He's like, "That's not true. There's no heat between you." He basically accuses them of having no sexual chemistry between them, and
Yeah.
obviously that's offensive. So they're like, "No, this meeting's over."
Yes. And it's funny because the husband has his arm around his wife's shoulder during this talk.
Yeah,
And when Jane says there's no sexual chemistry happening here, there's, no real physical relationship, he removes his arm instead
yeah,
of like pulling
digging
her
in.
closer and like trying to prove otherwise. He's just like,
It's kind
yeah,
of like it's
pulls
kind of like,
back.
oh my god, I'm busted for
Yeah.
faking it. That probably tells Gene a lot, right? That confirms for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He got caught in the cover up. So outside, Lisbon's like, "I can't believe you're surprised you got offended," because Jane's like, "Wow, they really need thicker skin." But so Minelli and another man approach, and he introduces him as Walter Crew. He's Melinda's dad. He's a CBI supporter, and he's a former legislator. And Jane asks why he's so interested in Kristen's desk, and he just says, "Oh, she was good people," and that even though she came from a tough background, they really liked her. So Walter heads inside, and Minelli warns Lisbon to step lightly. And he asks how the meeting went, and when Jane says, "Oh, it was very exciting," I love the way he antagonizes Minelli. Minelli always
Yes.
he knows by now. He's like, "Oh God, what did he do?"
I love these scenes with Manelli. They're yeah, just the tugging on that. What did Jane do now?
What is the dynamic? How would you describe it between them? It's like a father and a rascal child almost, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe like a rascal grandson, because Lisbon is his keeper,
Yeah,
and
I can
so
see that.
he's
I can
always
see that.
looking to her, right? So next we have Lisbon going to the office of Dr. Roy Carmen. She's like, I'm so sorry I'm late. And she's apparently supposed to have been going to him for therapy after almost getting killed by Dumar Tanner. But she hasn't been taking it seriously, which is like a typical trope, right? With lead detectives. They don't want to go to
Yeah.
their therapy sessions after they go through something like that. And she assures him that she's not traumatized, and they argue, and he tells her, well, you're so late that my next appointment is coming up, and just come back next week, which upsets her. But oh, come on, Lisbon, you think you can get away with getting credit for that just by showing up when the session's almost over?
Oh, I know. Oh, and she does ask for coffee, but then leaves it behind.
Yeah, yeah. So next we have Jane on his couch. He's staring at the ceiling. I actually really like this scene where he's talking about the stain on the ceiling. He's
Yeah.
like, normally it looks like Elvis, but today it looks like a basset hound. So he thinks someone moved his couch. He's asking Cho, but he says he didn't. So he stops the janitor who's walking by, and he's like, "Oh, I had to fix a light." And he has him move the couch back, and then he lies back down. He's like, "Elvis is back." That's where we get our episode title. But Rigsby fills Lisbon in on Kristen's stepmother and stepbrother, and I guess what happened at the end, like the answer to why they were calling her so much was this alibi thing, right? They wanted her to back up
Yeah.
Harlan. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Harlan
he got
used
arrested for a carjacking, and he said
yeah.
that he was with her.
Yeah, and she did not, um, support his alibi.
Yeah. So that's why he was under suspicion, because they thought that he was mad because she didn't back him up. So, which he was, but actually, I forgot to mention that earlier when Jane was at her desk, he took a vial of sand. He saw like a box of mementos, so that had clued him in that there was something going on. So Jane asked Lisbon, "Why aren't we looking for her lover?" And he says that she was having an affair with someone because she kept memories, like the sand that he took, and he shows it to Lisbon, and he speculates that she must have had more. And he says he just guesses, like a jewelry box with a ballerina on it. And Grace says that they did find one. And so he asks, "Oh, did you check the secret compartment?" And so she says no. And so Lisbon sends her to go check it. And this is important for later. This is part of how Jane figures things out. Jane looks over and he sees Bosco talking to somebody, and Lisbon notices, and she's like, just forget about it. Because I think by now it's because I think at the end of the last episode, Jane is changing the password for Bosco for something,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he's like pretending to be him and changing his password. So he's been up to no good. But so they probably know that, especially since Bosco tells him off later about it. He goes to follow him, and Lisbon warns him, just let it go. And later we see that Bosco's coming back to his office, and Jane's in there. And Jane's like, "Where have you been? I've been waiting here for half an hour." But he's like, he
Oh,
tells Jane,
goodness.
"Stop hacking my passcodes and stop hustling my people." He asks him, "What do you have on the case?" And when Bosco, like, I guess he just moves a folder like closer to his body, and Jane says that that's how he knows that he actually has something new. He wants to know what it is, and that's when he tells Bosco, "Oh, what is that he gave it away in the cover up." Even
Yep.
though he denies having anything. But he also tells Bosco that Rejon doesn't make mistakes, so anything that he's found was left there on purpose. And he's like, "I know the case, I can help. So what is it?" But he won't tell him. He tells him, "You're like a crack addict. I can see it in your eyes." And I don't know, who do you think is in the right here? Because Jane is being a pain in the ass to him, and he's causing
Yes.
trouble. But I don't know. I mean, Bosco is just being
Stubborn.
very, yeah, antagonistic and
Yeah.
dismissive, and yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Jane makes some good points that he is extremely familiar with this case and how Bosco and how Red John operates. And So it is cutting out a really a valid viewpoint.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can kind of see where Bosco's coming from because
Yep.
he doesn't put any value in what Jane contributes at all. So he probably just thinks that whatever he has to say is just rubbish anyway. So why even bother wasting my time, right? So
Yes, and Jane being antagonistic with the
yeah,
passcodes and everything else
yeah.
does not help his case at all.
So Van Pelt apparently went to go to the apartment, and she found the jewelry box, and she found the secret compartment, but it's empty. And she calls Jane and tells him that, and then Bosco is like, "Oh, bad news!" And he throws the whole cover up gave you away thing back at him because Jane is really surprised that there's nothing in the jewelry box, right? And
Mhm.
so that is something that contributes to what he suspects later. And so
I'm really surprised that Van Pelt missed the secret compartment because it
I
didn't
know
look
she's a girl.
very secret.
She's a girly girl too. She would have known that kind of thing herself, right?
You'd think so. It just looks like it's a little drawer on the back, like it's not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
hidden.
Like, did you really just open the top one up? It's empty.
I suppose there is a lot of evidence they had to go through there.
Maybe this explains Lisbon's aggressiveness toward
Oh my goodness.
Penfold.
Oh, it's so funny though too because they do kind of project Van Pelt as an innocent, kind of almost childish in this episode. So you'd think with a kind of childish jewelry box that she would have the edge.
So next we have Rigsby and Cho. They went to go talk to the stepmother. So Rigsby
Yes.
invites him to a basketball game, and he says he's busy. He's going out with the niece of the shopkeeper lady.
I love this.
I know,
I
I know. Oh my god, I
I
was so
feel like
excited.
I feel like we don't talk about this kind of thing enough in the fandom. Like, what Cho's actually going out with this with the
Yeah,
niece?
and he mentions that he talked to her on the phone, and that she seems really nice. So like they've talked, right?
Yeah,
It's so cute. I love it. And then I like it that he doesn't want to talk about it, right? He's like, "No,
yeah.
it's private."
No, I will not be telling you about my date.
But Rigsby's like, "I got you that number, man. You owe me." But come on, man. He doesn't owe you details. He can owe you something else. Ah, but so the stepmother Charlotte opens the door. She denies remembering what she called Kristen about, even though they say that she called her 11 times.
Oh my goodness. Couldn't
I,
she come up with something? Like, this lady is not
she,
trying hard enough.
I know she wasn't trying. She's like, I'm old. I forgot. I did like that though. It was very amusing.
Yes.
So she denies knowing where her son is, and Rigsby notices two different types of cigarettes in her ashtray. And so they go outside, and they're just waiting a little while, like killing some time, because they know that he's hiding inside. So eventually he'll come out. They're just waiting it out a little bit. So Rigsby's like, let's bet. Is he hiding in the bathroom or the closet? And he says, if he wins, Cho has to tell him about his date. So they go in and they find him there, and Rigsby's like, "Where were you? The bathroom or the closet?" And what? It was bathroom, right? Or closet? See, I can't
Closet.
remember. It was closet.
Closet.
Yeah. So Rigsby's like, "I win," and Cho's like, "We didn't actually bet."
No.
And
Cho was
technically they
no,
did not. He never agreed
no.
to the
Cho
bet.
Cho was very quick to say, "Okay, we should go back in now," instead of agreeing to the bet.
So they take Harlan in and they interrogate him, and he insists that even though he was mad at Kristen because she wasn't backing him up, he wasn't. He doesn't have anything to do with her death. He asks for chips, and then Lisbon goes outside and assigns Van Pelt to stall him, so they have time to search his car. I missed it. Like, why did they have to stall him? Were they not gonna?
And
And
that's
like, because like
I
later, Cho like breaks into his car.
right, yes, because I mean they brought him in, so his car's not anywhere nearby. Like, they have to track down his car, and you would think they would have the ability to hold him
Yeah.
still, but apparently not, because they're I don't know, I get so confused by that point. Like, why couldn't they just say, "You have to stay here.
Yeah.
You're still under suspicion," or whatever legalese they have?
But yeah, so Lisbon assigns Van Pelt to stall him. She tells her to be friendly. And Van Pelt is just excited because she doesn't tell her to stall him. She tells him, "You're taking over the interview of this
Yeah,
guy."
and
Right? So
she's
she
yes.
she thinks, "Oh my god, I'm being given more responsibility. Yay."
Yeah.
Right? But really Lisbon's just using her pretty face as a stalling mechanism. And so when Grace asks about it, she's like, "Need a map?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Wow, that's
I
kind
don't
of
like that.
mean." I
It's
don't
very
like how hard
mean.
she yeah, I don't like how hard she is on
Me
Grace in this
either.
season.
And Cho even is just, very silent on it, like, doesn't back her up or
Yeah. I feel Rigsby's got her back though. He feels very bad for her. But I wanted to. I wrote down teacup sighting because Jane is sipping from his teacup. I do want to keep track of how many times we see the teacup.
Alright.
But Rigsby has heard about his interaction with Bosco, and so that must mean that Bosco went and told people, right? Or do you think it's Rebecca gossiping?
No, I don't know.
Because how else would people start gossiping about what happened between Bosco and Jane? It was just the two of them, so
Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's like, I mean, it would have been visible that Jane, like, was pestering him or, in his office for half an hour. How did they fit that in? But,
no, I don't. Oh, he was waiting in his office for half an hour. I don't think the
yeah,
interaction was
right.
him.
No. No.
I think what it was it's probably Rebecca because she probably sits outside of Bosco's office and maybe she overheard. So,
Could be, could be.
but yeah, so Rigsby is basically taunting Jane. He's like, "Well, you were wrong about the jewelry box," and that's when Jane insists that he's gonna crack the case in 24 hours. And even Cho, he's like smirking at him. He's like, "I think we're ahead of you this time." So they're getting a little competitive in this episode, although they don't really take this very far. So but Van Pelt does what Lisbon asked her to. She goes to talk to Harlan. She turns on the charm. She smiles a lot. She takes some of his chips. And I mean, Lisbon was right. I mean, he falls for it. So
But this is when it comes down to it, she's trying to be flirty or whatever Lisbon was implying with being friendly. But then it just turns out to be Van Pelt eats her chip in a slightly sexy way, maybe. And Harlan's like, "Oh, you want another chip?" And it's like, it's a relief that they don't take it farther than that, but it's also just kind of anticlimactic.
cringy.
Like, yeah, very cringy. Oh,
But so Jane is like, I think he's convinced that this Harlan thing is a waste of time. So he has told Rigsby and Cho that he's going to investigate something else. So we find out that he's going to go visit Walter Crew. He's sniffing around this guy. He's been suspicious of him ever since they first met, right? Because when they first met, he's like, "Oh, why are you so interested?" Because I mean,
yeah. Yep.
yeah. So he suspected him from the get go, but he notices that all his pictures are of his daughter, and he's like, "Oh, what happened to the pictures of you? I thought you had pictures of yourself." And he says that he took all his own down because his daughter's the future. And so Jane sits down. He very bluntly asks him, "How long were you sleeping with the victim?"
Ouch.
I know. And like the guy is just like, "Well, I'm very experienced, so don't you think that I would have known how to deal with something like this without killing somebody?" And I think that is also something that clues in Jane. Maybe not that he's the killer, but he suspects, because the guy's basically laying out for him. I'm experienced in this kind of thing. if something like this happens,
Mhm.
I know what to do, right? So
Yep, yep, yep.
that's the kind of flag you don't throw up for Patrick Jane. Next, we go back to Rigsby and Cho. They're trying to break into Harlan's car. And I got a comment about this. So Rigsby's trying to get Cho to tell him where he's taking the lady out to dinner, but he won't budge. And Rigsby's like, he gives some backstory to us. He says, I'm going to call technical services to open this car because Cho's trying to use a coat hanger to open it. And this is
Yeah,
something that I think kids today or even adults today would probably not understand just because they don't make door locks like that anymore, right? It was
right.
like the kind of
The
standing knob
yeah,
kind of thing where you pull
just
up and that's how you
yeah,
unlock the door. And to lock it, you just push it down kind of like a knobby button. But I guess the window was cracked or it was something in old cars. Even if the window was closed, you could still push it down a little bit, right? Like enough to get
yeah.
a wire in. So I think that's probably what he did. But he says that the last time Cho tried to do this, it took him 2 hours, and apparently he broke a window
Yep.
to like dodge Rigsby's questioning. He says, "When are you gonna man up and make a move on Van Pelt?" So he gets the door unlocked as they're talking, and oh my god, I've never thought about it before, but the timing of this scene. Did you notice Tim is like actually trying to get
Yeah,
the wire around that thing, and he manages to get it right around the lock and hook it up and unlock the door right when his line is I don't know, it's just the timing of his line and when he got it around the thing. I wonder how many times they had to do that to get the timing right.
or how much TV magic and editing is involved.
Yeah, like is there someone pushing the thing? Is there a string pulling it right onto it right when they needed it or something? Because the timing was just really it
Yeah,
was really
yeah, it
intriguing.
is.
So Harlan, when they confront him, because they open the trunk and they find Kristen's other shoe in there. So they take this back to Harlan, and he's still denying that he killed her. He admits to being angry, and he's so betrayed by Van Pelt. I thought you liked me and those chips.
I'm just wondering how because the chip bag still looks full. Like I usually,
Yeah,
you flatten it when it's done because then you know that it's empty. And it's no, it still looks like it's a never-ending chip bag.
maybe she got him a new one. Okay, she's so nice. She got him a second bag. Oh,
Ah,
but so Lisbon goes back out to the bullpen, and Jane asks, "Oh, did you make the arrest?" And when she says yes, he's like, "Victory is yours." And so she's like, "Oh God, what now?" And he's like, "No, no, it's nothing. It's fine." I always like when they do this kind of thing where Jane's just like he's got his own investigation while they have their like technically sound one, and he's just like, "Oh no, I'm gonna just over here solving the actual crime." There's just something so amusing about that at their expense, unfortunately.
yeah, so clearly he has not shared any of his actual theories at this point.
Yeah, yeah. But he does ask Lisbon, well, the guy Harlan, like he says that staging the suicide the way that it was is pretty smart, but the guy Harlan doesn't seem very smart. So he asks her, like, how is he smart enough to come up with that? And she's like, well, sometimes dumb people come up with really smart things. But he tells her, I'm gonna have the killer in the next 12 hours, and he just leaves. Lisbon, though, she I think has worked with Jane long enough to know that he might be onto something. So when Cho
Yes.
asked her, "Should we send him downstairs to the courthouse?" She's like, just wait a little while." She wants to see how things play out with Jane.
Yes, and it does become clear he would have had to tell her his full theories at some point. When
Yeah,
we get into the execution of his plan, she had to be in on it.
yeah. Yeah, so that's something that they frequently do. Like Jane will have his own thing, but eventually off camera he'll tell everybody what's going on because he needs them to
Yeah.
help bring it home, right? So so next we go. Jane is back at the Senate, the senator's office. He's going through her desk, and the Batsons come in, and they're like, oh, "What's going on?" Minelli called and said that they arrested the guy, the stepbrother, and he's like, "Oh no, he's the wrong guy, and I still need to find the real killer." And Melinda gets really upset, and she's like really exaggerating. She's like, "And now you're ransacking my office?" But it's like he's literally just
No.
taking things out of her desk. He's not ransacking anything, lady. Calm
No.
down. But I like what Jane does here because he goads them into like he pulls like some fake quote about what the media can get into about how Melinda Batson, she's so soft on crime that she'll put the innocent behind bars. And then when they pivot and say, "Oh, we'll help you. We'll help you however you want," he's like, "Okay, help me take these boxes to the car."
And Elliot's like, okay. And he like hands her a box.
I know. I thought that was so funny because Jane specifically said, "Each of you take a
Each of
box and
you.
follow me." And so
Yes. He could have
Elliot could have picked
easily,
up both of them, but he hands one to
easily.
his wife.
Oh, it's so good.
He's such a follower, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So back at the bullpen, Manela's asking Lisbon, "Why haven't you sent that guy down to get arranged?" She's like, "Well, we still have some loose ends." And he is immediately suspicious because he knows Jane and Lisbon by now. Um,
Oh goodness.
uh,
It's
he's like,
so
"This is."
good. These scenes with Manelli are so good.
I know he's so. Oh, I love him. But he's like, "This is him, isn't it?" But Jane is asking him, "Oh, how hard is Walter Crew leaning on you?" And he's just like, "Huh?" And Lisbon can tell that this is getting a little serious between them, so she interferes and she's like, "Is this still my case, sir?" And he does back down, so Lisbon is just protecting Jane here from Manelli, from him getting into actual trouble. But here I think is where, like you said, Jane fills Lisbon in because this is where they set their trap, right? So the
Yep.
next scene is nighttime. Jane goes into Lisbon's office. I think he uses her phone to leave her a voicemail. He's
Yes.
like, "I found what I was looking for, and I'm gonna leave it in your desk drawer." And then next we have the janitor coming in. He goes straight to the desk. He takes out the letter, and he opens it and says, "Aha," which is such a Jane thing.
And this janitor's like,
No.
aha.
Yeah, he reads it out loud.
Yeah. What does this mean?
But Lisbon and Jane turn on the lights and they catch him. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just a cleaner. I don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, I love that Jane's like, "Please, this office is a mess. You suck at cleaning."
And also he was in the dark.
Yeah, I know. Like, okay, I know the janitors work at night, but they still turn the lights on. But he holds up a bug. Jane found a bug in the overhead light, and he reveals that he knew that somebody knew to go empty out the jewelry box. I think it really bothered him. He was probably really embarrassed that he found out that the jewelry box was empty while he was in the office with Bosco. So I think it really bothered him. He says that someone also placed a shoe in Harlan's trunk to frame him. And the guy keeps trying to deny it. He fakes being sick and he actually picks up a scissors and holds it to Jane's throat. And so he drops his accent. He gets this to put her gun on the ground, cover herself to the door, and toss her keys. But oh my god. So I need to talk about this handcuffing to the door thing
Yeah.
because isn't it an ADA handle? It's open. Can she just slip the cuff off? What
I think they do show that it's closed, but My my issue is that he has her throw the keys, but the door would still be able to swing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is imperfect for sure.
Yeah. I thought it was one of those handles where it's like it's just jutting out and it's open. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at another episode and look at her door handle because that just made no sense to me at all. Like I can
They
see.
changed they change the door handle just for this episode? Is that what you think?
I don't know. It just made no sense. I was like, dude, that is the worst place to have. Why don't you just ask her to handcuff herself to a stick? It makes no sense. But so he's distracted by the night watchman and he tosses Jane aside and runs. And Lisbon's like, follow him. And he's like, I nearly died. No.
I don't think so.
Because he's touching his neck where the guy had the scissors. He's like, I almost just died. Can I not go track down my killer? But she's like, go. He does go. He listens to Lisbon in the end. But she's got to get the night watchman to uncuff her from her non-handcuff state. So Jane runs outside, and the fixer nearly runs him down in a Volvo station
Yes,
wagon.
it is really not a sexy car at all. He was deep undercover.
It was his mom's.
Oh my goodness.
But the fixer's hit by an oncoming truck. And Lisbon approaches, but it cuts to black. So that's where like they're hiding something from us, right? So next we see Rigsby and Cho. They're sitting down with the fixer, who's got like I don't know bandages all over his neck, like he's
Yeah, and
injured
like a
from the
neck
car
brace.
crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they bring in the Batsons and Walter Crew, and they tell him that's Art Cavalieri. He's a PI that one of you hired to stop us up. And Walter and Melinda are gonna leave, but Elliot, the husband, who is like just kind of like the innocent guy in this whole thing, right? He's just like, wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait.
I
I want to hear more about leniency. But when Jane is just like, oh, come on. It's clear that she's gay and you're her beard. And I wanted to mention that I had actually not known what that meant.
Oh, sure.
I think I learned it last year. Gillian Anderson posted something about her husband and David Duchovny, and she said she used that phrase like "he's my beard," and I was like, "What does that even mean?" So I had to look it up. And so when I don't think I picked it up when I watched The Mentalist before.
Sure.
So hearing it now I know what it means. So yeah, so I had better context this time. Actually, maybe we should explain it in case people listening don't know
Sure.
what it means. Wait, let me Google it real quick.
Get the official
Yeah.
definition.
All right. So, beard is a slang term for a person, and it's usually a woman who dates or marries someone to conceal their true identity, their true sexual orientation. So, like, say, like a man is gay and he marries a woman to hide the fact that he's gay. So she's the beard. But in this
Yes.
case, it's the opposite, where Elliot is her beard. So, but he says that this was very obvious, and Elliot confesses that he took money to marry Melinda and be her cover, and it's revealed that Melinda and Kristen were the ones having the affair. But he says that Kristen broke up with her before disappearing. But while I was watching the episode, I got a little confused because the way he was talking, I was like, oh, was he having an affair with Kristen? And then they revealed that it's dad. And I was like, oh my god, was she having an affair with all three of them?
Oh no.
That's what I thought for a little while, but I think it
Sure.
was just.
No.
I thought it
Totally
was
get it.
in the end it was just Melinda and Walter, but yeah, for a little while I thought it was Elliot too, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. So the office were intentionally spreading that rumor that it was Elliot so they could hide Melinda's
Yeah.
affair.
So Lisbon shows a pendant that they found in the fixer's car, saying it could be either an M for Melinda or a W for Walter. But Lisbon tells Melinda that both her and her father are having an affair with Kristen. And she apparently already knew that because she says that she had a relationship with this woman and that her dad just came and took her. And her dad, creepy guy that he is, just like, I was
Yes.
just trying to make a point. And it's like, ew.
Oh, really ew.
This lady must have serious daddy issues because
Yes.
geez,
Well, yes, because she follows Kristen to figure out about the affair, sees
it's her
that
dad.
that's her dad, has this rage and kills her, and then is like, "Oh, shoot, I'm gonna call my dad to help me fix this." Ah.
Which when you think about it, it must have been dad. I know you're just here, but can you come back?
Oh.
Ugh,
This was yeah, awkward conversations, awkward family conversations.
yeah. Especially since she was probably like, I know what was going on, so you have to help me because you're sleeping with my girlfriend.
Oh, it's so messed up.
California people are so weird. But she confesses going into the apartment and killing her with some bookends. And I was just like, wow. So her dad was like so willing to protect her up until this point. Now he just lets her confess to CBI.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Like you would think that like
Yeah.
him being the seasoned politician that he bragged about being, he'd be like, nope, lawyer. Right? Instead, he just lets her confess. He just massages her shoulders while she lets it off her chest.
Let's just tank both of our careers and our legacies right now. Go ahead.
But once they get that settled, Jane talks to Rigsby and Cho and says, okay, you can let him go. And he means that literally because
Literally.
apparently Joe was apparently propping him up. He lets him go and the guy like starts falling over. He catches him and then he like just leans him
Re-
toward the table and he like leans on the table because he's dead.
Oh,
So,
I shouldn't laugh, but that crash did not look fatal
no,
at
it
all.
did. And aren't Volvos supposed to be very tough
Very
cars?
safe. Yeah, they're the one of the safest cars you can get.
So Cavallari is wheeled out in a body bag because she's dead. And Minale is furious. This is one of my favorite Minale scenes because he's like, you abused a corpse to get a confession. And Jane says, no, used. There is no ab. That's when Lisbon reveals that his neck broke during the crash, and he's like yelling at her, telling her that, oh, this could have gone so badly. And she's like, well, like the Batsons and Walter Crew, they were like subverting them at every chance. Like they hired this fixer and they did all these things and distracted them. And she was like, I think we should be commended.
Too
So
far, Lisbon. It's too far, I think.
Minelli says, congratulations, you finally got her to drink the Kool-Aid. And then he tells everybody to just watch themselves. But next we have Rigsby. He's praising Van Pelt. I forgot to mention that the guy Harlan had such a strange last name. McAdoo.
Yes.
I gotta write that one down for roll call next time. Oh my god. McAdoo.
Oh, goodness.
But Van Pelt is like, I think I could have gotten him to confess. And like Rigsby says, well, he was innocent. Which makes Van Pelt look so stupid.
And in this scene, I mean, she's wearing a headband and she looks like she's a teenager. And
Yeah.
they do
Yeah.
not do her any favors right in this moment. But it's good though. I love how he's like, well, yes, except he was innocent. But I bet you could have done it. You're good. You're a good investigator.
And like Cho is like, he walks into the room, he's filing things. And Rigsby asks her, "Oh, what are your plans for tonight?" She's like, "Oh no, just home, TV." He tells her to have fun, and Cho leaves and says, "You're gonna die alone." And I guess Cho is leaving to go on his date, right?
Oh,
So,
yes, that's tonight. You would think that maybe it already happened, maybe he already had his date at this point,
oh
because
yeah,
it
that's right.
was
Because
pretty late
yeah,
that
the night happened when they caught the janitor. Yeah, and Cho was not there, so he was busy.
nice. Maybe
So
he got interrupted, though.
yeah, so later that day, Rebecca tries to stop Jane from going to Bosco's meeting room. He's carrying a box of donuts. He tells Bosco he's gonna leave him alone. He wishes him good hunting, but Bosco's not fooled. He tells Hicks to take the box out of the building, not just the office. Like, who knows what he put in there? But oh my god, that was a big box of donuts.
It was, yeah.
Because it had like, it looked like a dozen on the top, but it was like double layered, double or triple layered. It was a lot of donuts. But while he put the box on the table, Jane planted one of Cavalier's bugs under the table.
Which
And so he
is
goes,
not a subtle bug, by the way.
"It's big!
It's big, and it has a flashing light on it.
It's like the size of a USB drive."
They really want us to know what Jane was doing.
But he goes back to the couch and he listens to Bosco and Hicks updating each other on their Red John stuff. So I guess, like, talks about a handwriting analysis or something like that, but I didn't really listen to everything else. But that's the end of the episode. So cold reading. At what point does Jean crack the case?
Yeah, so I think this is such a fun detail that Jane clearly knows about the bug in the bullpen. So when he's talking with the guys and saying he'll crack the case in 24 hours or I'll have the killer in 12 hours, he's always looking up, like
Looking up at the ceiling.
he's talking to the bug. So he definitely figured that out early. I feel like he made some pretty big leaps with the father in particular, but they make it pretty clear he knew about
About the
the
fake
sen-
marriage.
yeah, the fake marriage. Definitely got clued in when the jewelry box's hidden compartment was empty. That's probably when he got clued in that someone was listening to their
And to note, the thing that
conversations.
was in the jewelry box was the pendant, the M or
Yeah.
W pendant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
Yep.
was an M, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, hot reading. So the part where Minelli says, "Congratulations, you finally got her to drink the Kool-Aid." That's a kind of a reference to Jonestown. For those who aren't aware, that was something that happened in the late 70s. A cult of Americans who were following a man called Jim Jones. They moved to Guyana and they committed mass suicide. It's a very famous, awful case. They call it a massacre
Yes.
because over 900 people
Oh
drank
goodness.
a poison drink. It was actually Flavor Aid, but in pop culture, people always just say Kool-Aid. So that's what he's referring to, drinking the Kool-Aid. Basically, it's a
Yeah.
cult reference.
Yeah.
Kind of bleak, but people, if you
Yeah.
ever hear that reference, that's what it's talking about. So
Yeah. He used it like as a test of loyalty. So I believe that they didn't they knew that it could have been poison, but like they'd drinking the Kool-Aid before. Like it was always a test of their loyalty.
yeah, but I mean, I do want to warn people, if you go look this up, the pictures are brutal. So just giving people warning about that. So rewatch checklist. Just been moments. I don't know that there's any like
Oh,
actual like romantic moments, but they definitely she backs up Jane a lot in this. I feel like, so it's
yeah.
like more partner solidification. So nothing on the three buildings or three set locations we've been looking for. No update to punch list. I think he only wore one suit this whole case. Sometimes he's wearing his jacket, sometimes not. But like, they spent like the whole day, starting at the morning, investigating, and then at night, Jane is still he has stayed to help catch the janitor. and then the next day he does the Bosco thing. I think he has stayed in his clothes the whole time. So,
Yeah,
or
it's
at
a
least I
pretty truncated it feels like a truncated case.
yeah
Like, it
yeah.
goes fast.
Usually like um I check his shirts to see if he's changed clothes, and I think he wore the same light blue shirt the whole time and matching light gray suit. So we made an addition to Cheat Watch because this one with the double affair, although like we discussed earlier, I don't know what this has to do with the Scarlet Letter. uh,
Adultery.
Adultery. No updates to Revenge Watch and nothing to the Regon timeline. And Lisbon did not show her badge.
No.
Jane's Harometer. So we're gonna give our rating of Jane's hair, and then we're gonna read Expanse Lover's hair analysis. I didn't.
Yeah, I did. Like, did I stop and pay attention to his hair?
Yeah, so I'm gonna just give him a baseline 7-ish because his
Yeah.
hair was fine. It didn't stick out to me at all. I think they maybe in cases like this where it's meant to take place in like one day kind of thing, they don't really do a whole lot with his hair, and maybe he kind of just looks kind of unkempt because he's doing a lot of work. So
Yeah, I would say my baseline is around 8.
mhm.
Like, yeah, it didn't stick out as being not good.
Yeah, he does look good in his intro scene though.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yep.
So, Expanse Lover's hair analysis is his curls are growing longer from the previous episode, with that windswept and tousled look, especially on top, that makes my knees weak. She's been paying more attention than us.
Absolutely.
The sides are still too short for my taste, causing his ears to be too prominent, and it again looks like his hair is dark and a bit greasy in a lot of the scenes, similar to A Dozen Red Roses. Still a better look than Redemption. My rating is a 7.5. Very good hair analysis, Expanse. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, favorite lines. I mentioned this one already, but my favorite line is "You abused a corpse to get a confession," and Jane says, "Use. There is no ab."
I love how that one ends up in fanfic quite
Oh,
more
really?
often, much more often than you would expect it to. Yeah. I chose this. Jane tells Lisbon, "You won't regret this," and Lisbon says, "I already do."
And what is the zinger of the week? The Cho zinger of the week.
Chose Zinger of the Week. I chose because there's so much going on with Cho and Rigsby in this episode. So I picked the culmination of it at the end, where it seems like Cho is like encouraging Rigsby to say something to Van Pelt,
Yeah.
um, and he doesn't follow through, and so Cho says, "You're going to die alone."
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with a new Memory Palace quiz. All right, we're back and we have a new Memory Palace quiz for you this week. The way this works is I'm going to ask 6 questions about the episode we just discussed, and you'll have 5 seconds to come up with an answer. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Gonna have to figure out which one is the easy one.
Oh yeah. Give me the easy one.
Question 1. What basketball team does Rigsby invite Cho to?
That's the easy one. You would think I would know this. The Kings?
Yes. Wait, that was
Whew.
the team referenced in Painted Red too.
Yes, nice.
Very good, very good. Okay, question 2. Jane pockets one of Kristen's vials of sand. What beach was it from?
Oh, I want to say Bahamas.
No, it was from Malibu.
Malibu. Ugh.
Question 3. What is the murder weapon made of?
Stone.
Very good. Stone bookends. Okay, question 4. What would Cho have gotten if he won their non-bet?
Rigsby would pay for dinner.
Lunch.
Lunch.
I'll give you half.
Thanks.
Okay, question 5. How many minutes late was Lisbon for her appointment?
42 or
Oh,
48?
you got it. Yeah, it was
Is it 42?
Stay with 42. Okay, last question. Very hard. What color are the flowers on Kristen Marley's desk?
Oh no. Is anyone else trying to picture her desk right now? Purple.
No, they were yellow and pink. That's okay. You did really good. 3.5.
Woohoo.
All right. Any last thoughts?
Oh, this is a really fun episode to revisit. I often don't choose to watch this one when I'm just picking a random episode, but it has so many good lines in it.
Yeah, I like this one too. But although when I saw that we were going to watch it, I couldn't remember what the case was or what the episode
Yes.
was about, just based on
Yes.
the title.
Yes, I agree. And this is one where I have a hard time remembering who the killer actually is.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
they bring in the fixer and the dad's involved and I always forget which one of those 3 actually did it.
Yeah. It was the same for me too. When I was watching, I was like, wait, was it her or was it him?
Yeah.
All right. If you're enjoying Rom-Com Detectives, please consider taking a minute to leave us a review or rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're on Spotify, Reddit, or YouTube, leave us a comment answering our question of the week. Why is this episode titled The Scarlet Letter? We don't know. If you'd like to join additional conversations about The Mentalist, you can visit the Mentalist subreddit at reddit.com/r/The Mentalist, and you can join the Mentalist Bullpen Discord server at discord.gg/Mentalist Bullpen. To contact me and Karin, email us at host@romcomdetectives.com. Follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, or Threads at romcomdetectives. If you'd like to ask us a question or tell us your thoughts on an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail or text message at 1-650-733-XOXO or 9696. This episode of Rom-Com Detectives was recorded on April 7, 2026. Rom-Com Detectives Mentalist Unit is co-hosted by Krista Watanabe and Karin Lubbers and is produced by Pico's House. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you guys next time for a breakdown of Season 2, Episode 3, Red Badge. We'll be looking forward to that one.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.